It's the blackness for me. It's the British blackness for me. It's the ordinariness, if that is even a term. The dry wit. Oh my goodness. Just the dryness in the comedy. It's so British. Hello, my name's Layefa. I sing, I write, I'm a natural hair enthusiast. How are you? Today, we're doing a review of a new program that I'm watching on BBC. Well, it's currently just the first episode just went on Monday. So if all things being equal and my head is correct, this video should go up in real time, as in tonight or latest tomorrow. Today I'm talking about Dreaming Whilst Black. Have any of you seen it? Are you watching it? Have you heard of it? If you haven't heard of it, please go and watch it. There's going to be loads of spoilers in this video, so I just want to talk about it. People in the past have told me how they've enjoyed my movie reviews or drama reviews, and I don't often do them because sometimes I watch other people's reviews and I feel like everything has already been said, or I've not felt moved enough to do it. But this series has actually pushed me to do it. It is written and produced and directed, I don't know, but it's written and produced by Adjani Salmon, and he's actually acting in it as well. He's the lead character. I was seeing him post it on Instagram and I was like, oh, okay, he's got something new going on. And I thought, oh, let me just, let me support a thing and just watch it and see how I feel. Whilst just supporting a thing, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, sometimes, so I'm just going to zoom you in closer. Oh gosh, I've got cream in the background. It's the ghetto. So I thought, yeah, let me support a thing. But I was pleasantly surprised, because sometimes you support a thing and you think, yeah, I'm just supporting it, but you're not really in it to win it. It hasn't pulled you. But this pulled me, I was pleasantly surprised and I was like, okay, am I coming back to watch episode 2? Yes, I am. So I looked into it and I had no idea that this was actually a web series before it's now on the BBC, and I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but I really want everybody to watch it because it's so nice seeing just, how I'm all about the blackness. You know how I am, and it's just so nice to see it on BBC, mainstream, whatever. It's on BBC 3. It comes on Monday nights at 11:30 or something, at stupid o'clock, right? So that's if you go to bed late, this will work for you. If not, you could always watch it on BBC iPlayer. For those of you overseas, I don't really know how you can watch it. Do you have BBC iPlayer? If so, then you could watch it on that, or if there's an equivalent, find a way to watch it. But it's so good. You know what I love about it? It's the blackness for me. And it's not just the blackness for me, it's the Britishness for me. It's the British blackness for me. And it's not just the British blackness for me, it's the ordinariness, if that is even a term. But it's the way it's so simple, and looking at a regular person, a regular black person. Now, I love me a bit of black excellence. Yes, I do. I love the high achievers, the overachievers. I am there with you. I'm here because we love to see it, right? And it's aspirational, but it's so nice to see a character who is, other than the fact that obviously he's male, but a character who is so ordinary and regular. And this is something that I've been banging on about in my private conversations, that I want, when I see black people on mainstream, they're either high achievers, overachievers, or it's gang crime gone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing it to Top Boy because I thoroughly enjoyed Top Boy. It's a gangster drama. I loved it. But not everyday gangster drama for black people, do you know what I mean? And I like that it's just simple, it's just regular, and it's an easy watch. It's not dramatic. That I love the dry wit. Oh my goodness, the dryness in the comedy. It's so British, and I'm I love to see it. that's one of the things that got me hooked on it. Obviously, I'm always pulled in when I see a black face, and I'm like, oh, a black person on Main Street. Oh, look, click. What keeps you there? Is it the story? Is it the music? Is it the comedy? Is it the character? Is it the? Do you know what I mean? But for me, it's everything. I want to say it's less than 30 minutes long. I want to say it's about a 25-minute episode. So it's short. Yeah, I had no idea that it was an online series. So I'm going to do my homeworks, because I've just decided to make this a thing now. I'm going to do my homeworks and try and find the online episodes if they're still out. Because if they are, and if you've seen them, please point me in the right direction. Otherwise, I'll just do my searches and see how I can find them, so that when I come back to you with the next, because I will be watching this, I definitely will be, I will have more to add. I had no idea that he could act as well. Like, I didn't know that this was a thing. If some of you don't like watching really heavy intensive stuff, this is easy to watch. It's nothing. It's like just a nice, easy watch for me anyway. There will be some spoilers as I talk, but I'm going to talk about the things that stuck out to me the most. I love the interaction of, you know, a black man in a white space and dealing with, you know, the everyday microaggressions, or even if you don't want to call it a microaggression, but the things that white people say to black people. If we get into the opening scene, he's in his office and a colleague tells him he's got a client waiting for him or whatever. So at the time I was trying to gather, what is he, a social worker? Because it was a young guy who came in, like a youth social worker, or is he a careers advisor? Because he was looking at the guy's CV and saying, look, you've even used the wrong wordings. And it turns out he's a recruitment officer, right? So that's what he does for a living. The main character, his name is Kwabena. I love the name, bringing that. What I like about it, it was at a good pace, a very easy pace. It wasn't fast, it wasn't slow. Does that make sense? You know, sometimes, how do I describe this? Because but sometimes when you watch something and say if it's 30 minutes long, right, 25 to 30 minutes long, a lot happens scene by scene, and you have to have your eyes fixed to it, otherwise you have to rewind and watch it again. Like, a lot happens in a very short period of time, so you have to keep up with it. And some programs you might watch or movies you might watch, it's very slow to pick up the story, whereas this I found was a good pace. It wasn't slow, it wasn't fast, it was perfect. A good, well spent 25 minutes. I feel like you could watch it while you're doing your ironing, like whilst you're putting on your makeup, while you're getting, if you know what I mean. It's a nice watch. I love how it flips into the dreamy scene. So it's called Dreaming Whilst Black, and Kwabena is this professional, works in HR, and he is I'm assuming he's a filmmaker, writer of some sort, and he's trying to get into the film industry. And you can see him, when he's on his way to work, he's listening to podcasts of people who are already in the industry and how they've made it. And then he runs into somebody else, maybe a friend from the past who maybe they went to school together. I can't really remember as of now. And they discuss what she's doing for a living, and he's like, oh, so you've made it. So basically that's the preference of the story. I'm assuming it might be a love story because it hasn't, I think it is a love story just from the ending. But initially I just thought, oh, maybe it's just this black guy just trying to make it in life, just trying to, get to the next stepping stone in his career. So it's called Dreaming Whilst Black, as I said, and I love the dreamy scenes. Wait. Can we just talk a little bit about the cinematography? I really like it. It's it's nothing special. Well, I say it's nothing special, but it is special because for somebody who watches a lot of black content, it's nice seeing quality cinematography. And I understand that a lot of the time we're not given the funding, or we're funding it ourselves, so we have to make do with what we have in order to make such content. But I love the cinematography. If we're going on cinematography as well, I love the the music, the soundtrack. Oh my goodness, great song choices. I was hearing Shaka. I was hearing Don't Rush, Lily White, Hook Cock, Down to the Night. What is that song called? Don't Rush. I think it's called Don't Rush. Remember everybody was doing the Don't Rush challenge in 2020? I was hearing that. I was hearing Cleo Soul. Yes, I was hearing some really, really, really cool British musicians in the soundtrack. So I loved I picked, my ear was like, yeah, I see what you're doing there, and I so much love it. I say all of that and I went off on a tangent, but what I want to say is I really enjoyed the dreamy scenes. One of my favorite dreamy scenes, and it might be in some of the trailers if you've seen it, is when he's on the bus, right, and he sees a beautiful dark-skinned lady, which we will talk about, because it seems that the love interest is an unambiguous black woman. Rare, right? Very rare, but I love that she's unambiguous. You can tell she's, even if she's not African, she's of African descent. There's no confusing her. And he sits next to her and he's like giving her the lines like, excuse me, and you've probably been told this before, and just as you think he's about to compliment her, he drops a, what are they doing? They're doing a promotion on Sheer Moisture products at Boots, and I wouldn't want, it was just so funny, it was so witty. And then, you know what? If you listen to my podcast, The Eavesdrop, we've discussed how funny guys will make you off pants, right? The comedy in that chat up line, the swag in that chat up line, if it was the thing that he actually did, I'm off in pants. I would, because you're funny. You've got me from the jump. You're not asking for my number. You're telling me about Sheer Moisture products. From time you're making me laugh, I want to off pants, right? I follow me here, because I know I've gone off on a tangent. Follow me here. I loved that scene. I thought it was very funny, and the dry wit. Oh my God, it's just so good. Cuts back into him being on the bus, just holding the rail, and he doesn't actually chat to her. Gets on the bus, goes about his day. The story progresses, and you can see that even though he's doing his day job, he's still writing, and he's really trying to push into like the screenwriting, filmmaking industry. Goes to, I don't know what they called it, equivalent to an audition for screenwriters. And he gets there and he's like, oh, he's here for such and such. And the lady says, oh, you're too late, but come for the next one. You need to come early. And he's thinking, okay, so when's the next one? Thinking she's going to say next Tuesday. She says next year. Come on, tell me that's not funny. It's funny. Okay, it's one of the, you have to watch it to get it. If I'm telling the story really dry, you have to watch it to get it, because it's funny. It's funny. I promise you it's funny. And if you don't find it funny, then I don't know what to say to you. Runs into a friend. They end up having drinks, and they're discussing, her, where she is in her career, and, just a bit of banter. Then he eventually has the confidence to ask her to, can she give in one of his scripts or whatever. She's like, yeah, okay, but she does it anyway. Turns out her people like it, so calls him in for a meeting. I might have jumped the story a little bit, because I know I'm not telling it in sequence. I'm telling it as I remember it. It's just the funny things that it's nice seeing, the things that we say to each other as Black people in our own safe spaces. And it's like on mainstream and everybody is hearing this, and it's like, no, but we actually say these things. And, she says to him, okay, come at 4 p.m. And he's like, yeah, cool, I'll be there. She's like, no, 4 p.m. white people's time. 4 p.m. what? And I'm like, yes. And these are simple things. It's just so simple. It's not like genius, but it's like seeing that representation, that reflection of your life. And I think I mentioned this when I was doing the I May Destroy You review with Michaela Cole, right? I was talking again about the relatability. This again feels very relatable. It just feels very regular. And I even love his accent, because I'm like, doesn't he actually have a Jamaican accent? But he's I like his British accent. I do. I think okay, man, like, yeah, okay, Skeen, okay, I hear you. So what am I saying? I say all of that to say nothing. Like, usually I say all of this to say, no, I say all of that to say nothing. How many dream scenes in this episode? I think there were 2 dream scenes, at least 2 dream scenes that stuck out to me. The second dream scene was when he's in the meeting in his office and he gets up and he's like, yeah, he quits, da 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 da, and because his phone is going off and he's late for his meeting. But you think, oh yeah, go on, Kwaba, now you're leaving the thing, yeah, stand your own, yeah, no, it was all a dream. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Wow, she's off on a tangent again. You know what, as well, touching on that, when she says, when his friend tells him to have a page by the next morning or by tonight, and then he goes home and he's writing, and it seems that he did have prior plans with his, I don't know if it's his brother or his roommate. That hasn't really transpired yet what that relationship is, but I'm assuming it's a friend or a roommate, and the roommate called him and says, look, football at such and such, and he's like, oh no, I can't, I've got this thing. And he's like, no, but you said, like, today you were the one who even instigated this date or whatever, this event. And he's like, no, look, this for me could be life-changing. And I love that scene just there because it made me reflect on situations in my life where I've had to turn down things because of family commitment, also as somebody who other people rely on, and I've been offered things and I've had to weigh out my options because I'm like, is this paying me? Is it exposure worth it for me turning down? One particular event, I was invited to do a shoot for something, and it wasn't a paid gig, but I was invited to do a shoot, and it was on the day of my son's birthday, and we had already planned his birthday. He had already booked going to Legoland and everything. I was like, shit, like, is this worth me turning down? Now, I think if it was a bigger brand, I may have forsaken my son's birthday because the exposure would have been bigger. But because it was still a big brand, don't get me wrong, still a well-known brand, especially within the Black community, but I turned it down. Anyway, that got me thinking about, that scene got me thinking about situations in my own life where I've had to measure up, oh, am I going to turn this down, or am I going to pursue this thing because this is the only date they've got? If I turn it down, this might be my only chance. And that was just really relatable for me. Like, I loved that. Even though they didn't make a big thing of it, I made a big thing of it. It just moved on to the next scene. I made a big thing of it because it made me reflect on, situations as the example that I've just given you. So he turned down football. I think it was football. Anyway, so another scene that stuck out to me, and I think every Black person or brown person or somebody who is not British and eats food that is other or considered other to, what the British culture is used to, and him being in his office and he warms up his food, and the microaggression where she's like, Kwabena, what's that? Yeah, it smells a bit spicy. It smells a bit, do you know what I mean? It's like the amount of times that we would just be biting our tongues, and the way he looks around at his peers, at his colleagues, and watches them eat their food, and he's thinking, rah, I've got to go to the kitchen because my food is like this. We've all been there. And even the earlier scene in the office where his white colleague is trying to say to him that he's dating a Black girl without saying he's dating a Black girl, and he says she likes spicy food, she's quite vibrant. I'm like, wow, look at the word. Like, sometimes by not saying she's Black, you're actually being more racist. Like, you think that, oh, just say she's Black. Just say she's Black. She's Black. It's, oh, she changes her hair a lot. Funny. Also, another scene that stuck out to me is when he was on the bus and he called in sick at work, but he has good reason because he's trying to get to, is it the meeting or something? The thing for his real dream career, Sha. He wants to get to that thing, yeah? So He calls in sick on the bus, and he doesn't know that his colleague is sitting at the back of the bus and sees him. Anyway, instead of my girl to face her front and mind her own business, you just see a next scene where the boss is telling him, oh, it was brought to my attention that you were seen out on the bus. And he's like, you sure that was me? And that really riled me up. I was like, why can't people just face their front? Why can't you mind your own business? Yes, I could have been sick and still been on the bus. Mind your business. My sick day, I said I was sick. My favorite scene is actually the scene that brings the episode to an end, where he sees the black girl again. I'm assuming it's the same black girl, but even me, I'm like, she's got a different hairstyle. It must be her, Sha. It's her, right? It's actually funny. She's getting off the bus while he's standing at the bus stop. She gets off the bus doors close. Guess what happens? The bus doors catch the back of her wig. The bus doors catch the back of her wig. Look, I'm just thinking of the embarrassment. The embarrassment as a woman wearing a headpiece myself, right? Oh, the embarrassment. Oh. Gets caught. She walks off and she's just got the cane rose. But thankfully, her cane rose are neat. Her cane rose. Imagine if you've got the doo-doo cane rose or the jailbird cane rose or the, you know what, like my cane rose under this right now are mad messy. You know why? Because I've been washing my hair in cane rose rather than taking out my braids. I've been washing my hair, so it's gotten a bit frizzy. So if this wig got caught on any the embarrassment, the shame. And I can't remember, does he run for the bus or does he just quickly drag it out? But he drags it, and he's holding this hairpiece in his hand, and he's like handing it back to her. And I think he actually compliments her cane rose, but he said something on the line of like nice cane rose or corn rose. I can't remember if he said cane row or corn row. Anyway, that scene right there is what led to me recording this episode, because I was like, nah, I need to see more of this. This is funny. It's the dry wit, as I said. Absolutely love it. Anyway, in the meantime, if you haven't yet watched it, please go and watch it. Comment. Let's create a little, while it's on live, let's create a little bit of conversation around it. I don't know what other conversations are happening, but at least conversation between us. And then hopefully the plan is, while it's airing each week, this is the accountability part, right? The plan is that each week as it comes out, I will record my review, my thoughts and my feelings around each episode. That is the plan. You know why I'm saying that? Because I hardly ever record anything in real time. So if I'm recording something in real time, it's like, oh, I'm really giving myself work. Anyway, that's the plan. Thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on all my social medias. Love Layefa on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, but I really ain't twitting. I'm not really tweeting. I'm kind of on TikTok, but not really. Follow me on the eavesdrop, where we just gist. We just sit down and have a good old chin wag about this, that, and everything. Until my next video, think smart, work hard, and make it happen. Bye.